What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? So I see if I get everybody tuned in. Want to talk about something that's been on my mind. Something very interesting. Let's see. Here we go. I want to talk about the golden era of YouTube content. But before I do that, go ahead and if you all can, just hit the like button and share my content if you can. They don't want this to get in the algorithm, but I'm gonna share this myself on the stream. So, all right. Oh shoot, it's a candlelight. But yeah, man. For those who grew up in the early days of YouTube, I missed the early days of it because there was so much truthful, fire content at the time of YouTube, right? And before monetization and all those things, you had people to come on here, of course, to put videos out of like something that's funny, that's comedy, just something simple. It was real simple, you know. People come on there, the YouTube channel, to spread their truth. You know what I'm saying? At the time, a lot of black content creators and stuff. I noticed. I mean, all content creators, but I'm talking about my community in particular. You know, you had the brothers and stuff like that was coming up, speaking on what's going on with the personal relationships and stuff, with the women, and a lot of everybody they start to notice each other. They start to notice like they had like the same problem with each other, and it was like a bond. It was like they resonated. We all resonated with each other. We started to hear a little bit about the traveling and stuff. Um, you know, with a lot of the brother stuff. The content back then was very simple. People that were speaking truth, and I feel like before monetization, you could speak truth and without getting blocked. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff they got going on nowadays here. You can just say what you need to say, put out what you need to put out, and move on with life. You know, we had a lot of great content creators from back in the day too. You still have some that's here today. It's only a few of them, but shout out to you all. Um, I've been on YouTube since like I'm gonna say 2017, 2018. No, have my channel 2018, 2017. No, 2016. I had my channel, but I known about YouTube about 2008, 2009 when I first got on it. That was around the time when Facebook was starting to get more popular and MySpace was dying out. You know, MySpace been around for like a couple of years, so over like a decade, I believe. But people used to come on here and say what they need to say without being blocked by the algorithm or any of this stuff. There were channels with content creators like they came, they spoke their truth, say what they had to say, and they log off. That's how it was, even before like the live stream and all those things. You're just posting your videos, your everyday videos. But now it seems like a lot of content creators are only about they're only in it for the money and stuff. And I like I said, I don't mind someone donate to you because they support the channel. That's fine. But if you're gonna speak something about some truth, depending on what you're talking about, then speak it. You know what I'm saying? Just speak it. Because these platforms are used now, like I said, they're deceiving a lot of people. You don't know who to trust. One end they're on this person's side, then the next they're on this person's side, instead of using their own logic, their own common sense. But now these times, like you got to be very mindful and be very careful who you choose to listen to these days. You have to because you know there's a lot of false prophets out here. Um, you got to be careful, y'all. Y'all got to be careful, man. You know, because the enemy's everywhere now. He's on these social media platforms, and he'll use any type of agents, plants he can to keep you lost in this trend. That's what the enemy will do. You know, he would do that. And now, ever since YouTube became more of like a paid platform now, people will just believe the lies. People will go along with what this person say now, and without doing no research, without thinking for themselves, especially, they just go along to get along with anything they say, just because they got a lot of views, um, a lot of followers, and all that type of stuff. But you got to be careful. You got to be able to think for yourself too. You got to think for yourself. Now, like I said, I'm a big content creator in my own right. Yes, I have a small channel, which I always say small channels we have like some of the best jewels. But I'm a small content creator that I'm big in my mind because I'm always thinking outside the box. You know, I don't want to copy and paste like everybody else. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. People have really moved away from real content. People are now, especially in the melanated sectors, they're drawn towards the negative channels where they argue and beef back and forth like it's love and hip hop now. Actually, more than love and hip hop. You know, you got traveling bros going against the dating coaches, and you know what I'm saying, the alpha, beta, all this bull crap, the good woman and the ratchet. It's just crazy, man. It's a whole mess out here. And to think about it, the internet used to be a sacred place. You know, it used to be a place for like you say for the introverts, the people that come on here and talk to somebody online at the time, someone who's level headed, someone who gets it. But ever since they introduced social media, it's became a rat race, all about making your money and stuff. I mean, I ain't got no problem with it. Don't get me wrong. But if you're doing it for the right cost and the right reasons, okay, then so be it. But I just kept thinking about some of the old school content creators you had from way back in the day. Some are still on here, and some have been on here for like a couple of years. Some had ended their channels, taken down their content, just because people wasn't really listening to. And I feel like that was like the best time to actually catch like the real content creators before 2015. I would say before 2014, 2015. It kind of changed over stuff. Then you start to hear about the manosphere, all these things. You know, black men supposed to help each other, men in general, help each other to empower one another. You know, these platforms was given to us to so called speak truth. But nowadays a lot of these content creators aren't speaking truth. They into the godnocracy, the separation, the division, to keep us apart from one another. See, I use my platform. Yes, I do other things, sing and stuff like that. But I also use it to warn people and to get the message put out there. Even though a lot of people don't want to listen to it, but it will come a time to where like you're not gonna find, like I said, a lot of real authentic content creators too much. I'm already not really seeing it now. I'm not really seeing it now. So people got to stop buying to like the numbers and stuff like, oh, just because this person's gone, YouTube died. Like, no, a lot of people just don't want to listen to it. There's no originality no more. That's why I'm actually bored with YouTube. I mean, if I come on here and say what I need to say about some topics, then so be it. Write down some things and just discuss what I see, what's going on in everyday life. So, um, you got other type of categories of different sectors: gaming, music, entertainers. You know what I'm saying? You got skits and stuff, which is very, very incredible um, to watch on YouTube. So that's what I would do if I was online, just being in the audience, just watching different channels that has a lot of meaning to it. And these platforms, like I said, you don't want to take for granted. But since this is where everybody's eyes at, this is where people are drawn towards. This is where people go on to. I would use this, and I use TikTok too. Um, for some of those 3 minute short videos, got like a lot of information in it. But YouTube, I do like using. But again, if I'm like going to watch like some video game or some music videos, some old school music videos, stuff like that. That's what I use it for. Go back from way back in the day and just get like some nostalgic, things that I grew up on. So man, it's only a few real people on here in the YouTube streets. It's only a few. It's not many, but it's only a few. And YouTube don't want to have my videos push out here in the algorithm. They don't want my videos to push out here in the algorithm. And certain other content creators too. They have like small channels. Speak a lot of truth. Speak a lot of gems, man. Like yo, makes me wonder like why aren't they channels blowing up? But I know YouTube is doing all this stuff. They don't want to. They don't want our channels to strive, which is why we gotta have alternatives. We gotta have alternatives. You just have the alternatives to be our real channels, but use these big channels to draw in our audience. Have a real fallback on it. Because one day, like I said, you're not gonna be able to speak the truth on these particular big platform channels. Like I have a Facebook, but I deactivated a couple of years ago. Um, I don't use Facebook like that. It's boring. It sucks. It's dry. It just seems like dang. Like I said, just used for a lot of only so like you want to use for like to catch up with people you haven't seen in a long time. That's a missing art too. Like before social media, there was a time where there may be somebody you may know back in school or whatever you haven't seen in a long time. And the most beautiful thing that when you did have a bond in them years before you separated, somehow you know what I'm saying, good Lord's where you come back to each other, meet each other again in the future, it'd be one of the most precious things ever to experience. It'd be one of the most precious things. So yeah, it was a time to be in. I knew when all this took off. No, it started with MySpace. Me and a friend, like I said, we was talking. It started with MySpace, then Facebook, YouTube. Then you have like all these social media platforms started to come about. That's before they actually really blown up. So if I were anybody, I would get like some alternatives because you never know when these big platforms may fall apart, and you do want to stay connected with your audience, stay connected to the people that's close to you. So just be very mindful of that. Just be very mindful of that. Like I said, one day you all may not be able to see me on these platforms like this, on this particular platform anyway. I don't let anybody else know about my platform where I stay at. It's none of their business. But I love talking to an audience, creating an audience, and having something to talk about. Having panels with the few real people that I'm close and connected with. Um, it's an honor to you all, to be able to chat with you all, the men and women, talk about real issues or what's going on, or just having a good time, communicating with things from back in the day, the TV shows and music, gaming, wherever it is, etc. that we're into, and finding like-minded people to build a community with online. Because it seems like in the real world now, people don't even talk. They don't even know how to talk no more to you face to face. It's all about what they can get out of you. You know, it's like you got to talk to them if you know them online and stuff. It's crazy. I'm still old fashioned. That's how where I will continue to be, whether I have my phone on me or not. Like I have to be authentic. Authenticity is what matters. It's what truly matters. So be sure, like I said, especially if you're old school, if you like myself, a millennial, you know what times were like before you had social media, before you had the MySpace, the YouTube, the Facebook, the Instagram, the TikTok, and wherever other platform that's out there. You know what time was like before you had all this, you know. So say like if all this were to crash tomorrow, how would you be able to live life? And I feel bad for a lot of the children, like I said today, who the younger people who do have like social media and that's addicted to it. That if this decides to depart from us tomorrow, like this, all these platforms, what would you do with your life? You got no choice but to live and make the best out of it. Which is why I got my old school. I had a cassette tape, cassette player, whatever though. My CDs, old school video games, cause that's what I would do if all this crashed tomorrow. You won't be able to contact nobody unless you have their personal number. But even before that, if all this technology decided to crash tomorrow, what would you all do? Say like telephone, being able to contact somebody. That's probably gonna be the last thing that's gonna crash. It's the being able to talk with each other on the phone. Cause I don't think nobody use like landlines no more, like house phones. It's probably a small percentage, maybe because of the older people. Because a lot of people don't, older people don't really use like the cell phones like that. Only a small percentage, but not many. So man, I do miss the older the golden age of YouTube when people come on here, like I said, and just post something really really entertaining, something give you something to listen to and to be aware of. You know, I started to notice when people, certain content creators, they were speaking truth. Some of the ones they didn't show their face, but they spoke truth, and that was it. They say what they had to say, and they got off. Something you could take with a grain of salt. You could possibly apply to your life with. But now everything nowadays is all about just getting the money from your audience and stuff, and anything can happen with these platforms. Like I said, so that's why I said, how do you want to be remembered as a content creator? You know, because that's what really matters. That's what truly matters, and how you can impact somebody else's life. You know, it's a beautiful thing when you make an impact. When you impact somebody's life, that's a beautiful thing, and that makes me as a content creator feel good. Not to glorify myself at all, but to give God praise that knowing that I did something right. For the right cause at the right time. But now we got a content creators are full of men and women that's just argumentative. They can't get along. I believe social media made it a whole lot worse for both sides. More women are using the social media, especially IG, to be strippers and thoughts and stuff nowadays. They don't really care about relationships and stuff. So, and then of course with the men and stuff, look up a lot of inappropriate things. Since like real life communication think that it's not working no more because a lot of women think they're famous because they got like 1,000 followers and all this type of stuff. But don't let this social media get to your head. Don't let it get to your head. You still have real life to live. You still have real life to live. Use these platforms to put the truth on here, say what you need to say. Of course, to enjoy it, to have fun and talk about things from the past and stuff where we all can learn from each other. It's just a community, online community. So yeah, this is all I want to say, man. I appreciate you all for catching us on the replay. Share the stream, y'all. Share the stream. YouTube don't want none of this to get out at all. Like I said, this may be a simple live stream to you all, but it's still content. It's still content. You can all have like other big content creators have like a million followers, million subs and stuff. They can do simple videos like this, and y'all still give them donations and everything just because they just came on live stream. I'm a content creator just as much as anybody else, and I'm willing to learn more. I'm willing to learn more. We make ourselves the industry. How the way we put ourselves out there, we are the industry. This content is the industry. This is what it is. So shout out to all the people that's been riding with me. Shout out to the ones that's new to my content. If you're new to it, thank you all for tuning in and subscribing to the channel. The Cool Gent 87, the one and only. Very unique name. I'm very thankful for it. Um, of course, I talk about other things besides the Bible stuff, which I'm always going to talk about. But I talk about other things too. Life from the past. But yeah, so I'm about to go and get off here. I mean, I'm thankful that we have this content that we can watch, because sometimes it's like, since TV is dead now. I mean, we got like a lot of streaming services these days. A lot of streaming services have taken over. Went from, was it back in the day, from rental movie stores, Blockbuster, Movie Gallery, all them places, now to Redbox. Now it's Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, all these streaming services that they have, Amazon. So this is where we're at now. They would never understand the time before all this streaming stuff. Going to the arcade and playing the games and stuff before, all the home consoles. I mean, they were home consoles, but going to arcade to interact with each other, men and women. They find your first girlfriend or boyfriend there. But anyways, let me go ahead and get off this live stream. I'm talking long enough. Get back on here and watch some more content, something that's entertaining. But I still love social media personally. I love social media personally. I love having something to talk about, something I can bring to you all. Um, I may do like a little poll to see what you all would love for me to talk about. Something that's big, something that's taboo, you know. But just check out my community tabs and stuff. I may post like some live streams over there. Um, Streams that's scheduled for the future that I'm going to do. So just be on the lookout for that. Plus, if you all are catching this message, like, I need to get my watch time up as well too. Um, you know what I'm saying? Play all my videos, just let it play out. You ain't gotta listen to it, but just let it play out, and just like, so I get my watch time up. I would really appreciate that. But yeah, I'm about to go and get up off here. Man, just a nice, calm night. I don't really have to do much or say much. I just like to come on here and just rant. I'll do some more live streams like this too, with the candle and stuff like this in the middle. Man. Shout out to Amanda, Life of Amanda Githers. Shout out to Mocha. Shout out to Moshe Ben. Shout out to you, brother. Logan. Shayla. Who else? Fuji Girl. Queen, I Know Who I Am. Monique Hill. His Will Is Real. Divine Lee. Leon. Who else? Some other brothers, sisters. Excuse me if I forgot. Rayology. Shout out to all y'all brothers, sisters. Savage Empress. Empress 82. Shout out to all to the ones that's been rolling with me. I appreciate you all very much. Got to do some more live streams together. And shout out to everybody that's tuned in. This new Geraldo. Shout out to all y'all, man. I noticed the ones that's been rolling with me for a pretty good long time now. Even all the other brothers and sisters that's doing their own thing on their own channels, that don't come over much. But I appreciate you all as well too. But subscribe to the channel, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. I promise I won't waste your time. Talk about something real. So trying to see what else I need to do. But that's about it. All right. It's Cool Gen 87 in the building. And I hope that you all have a good night, good morning, wherever you are in the world. And the Most High continue to bless you all. Y'all have a good one. And be on the lookout and keep my notifications on too. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you hit the bell because they don't want these videos to get out. So hit the notification bell. All right. Y'all be blessed. Cool J 87 signing out. Peace.